This is an example of something that somebody like Isabella could never touch. But that is soon to change. It's not every day you find a children's book written on anxiety, but Hannah is changing that narrative. With a change in leadership here on campus, what do students, the main ones who make up this university, hope to get out of President Upa?
We grow lots and lots of different things. Basil and cilantro and lavender and parsley.
This is Laura DeLynne's livelihood.
I see some onions.
And it might be in trouble. A new climate assessment issued by 13 federal agencies is causing concern.
This climate report and climate reports in the past have told us we're in trouble.
And it serves as a warning to the U.S.
It doesn't really tell anything new as far as climate change. This has been happening.
In the nearly 2,000-page report, more than 300 leading scientists broke down climate change's effects on specific regions of the country.
I think it's pretty scary.
And while there might be snow on the ground right now, the report states that in the Midwest, there will be a decrease in cold days and an increase in hot days. And agriculture will suffer.
We've had a number of drought years, record high temperatures.
Dan has owned this Eaton Rapids farm since 2013.
Our little 80 acres here.
And for farmers like him here in Michigan, this report and the issues of climate change is a big deal.
I think we should treat our home better.
And he's already noticing changes on his farmland due to all this.
Bizarre weather.
It'll affect farmers. It'll affect just everyone across the state.
For our cattle, it's a little stressful. Trying to deal with temperatures over 85, 90 degrees. When they're in the direct sunlight like that, we definitely see differences in milk numbers and cows wanting to be lazy and lay in the shade and more of the fly problems, that kind of stuff.
But the report and issue of climate change is still highly debated.
I think the argument is what's causing it to happen.
I think that there is some validity to the global warming argument. However, I also think that it's cyclical, and so that we might be in between ice ages.
And there is some validity to the cyclical argument. However, recent temperatures have been out of character.
And I can show you a graph that shows you that, and it goes up like this, and it goes down, and it goes up and down, and it goes up and down. Unfortunately, what we've seen in the last couple of decades is it keeps going up, and it's not going back down.
MSU International Relations senior Trevor Colville still argues that global warming is more of a political issue.
I do believe that it does exist. I also don't believe it's as dire or as pertinent as the left makes it out to be.
But these local farmers are more concerned about what might happen if things don't change.
I'm no climatologist, so I can't tell you exactly what's happening or what will happen. But I do know we're in for a pretty bumpy ride if we don't start paying attention.
I think in Michigan this year, they've said we've lost 10% of our dairy farms alone.
Livestock are impacted by the same thing. I mean, diseases spread more rapidly, or they're susceptible to more diseases. Milk cows aren't as efficient in warmer temperatures.
I know it's a very divisive issue. I know it's also a partisan issue in modern politics.
But to these local farmers, it's personal.
The more the climate changes, the more of those little guys I think are going to get killed off.
Those little guys, meaning local farmers.
It could very well affect what we produce and how much of it we produce. And of course that in turn would affect the livelihood of small urban farmers.
In Lansing, Tierra Riddick, Focal Point News. This is a new age EpiPen.
So I'm allergic to peanuts and all tree nuts, so pretty much everything.
Living with a food-related allergy can be difficult.
There's definitely been times where I've had to avoid eating something, or I've had to kind of avoid a dining hall area because they're serving something that I can't eat.
MSU student Isabella Oletti has been dealing with her food-related allergen since she was little.
So it's been since I was a baby. My parents gave me something that had nuts in it, and I had to be rushed to the hospital. So it is a pretty severe allergy, and I've just always known.
But Michigan State's culinary services team is making it easier for people like Isabella. And this is it, a new allergen-free dining hall.
All the dining halls on campus are very conscious of the allergens.
The new addition to campus will be located where the Riverwalk Market is now, right inside of Owen Hall.
We're going to have Owen be allergen-free from the top 8 plus sesame and gluten. It will be certified free from, so from our counters to the back dock, nothing will contain any of those allergens.
This is an example of something that somebody like Isabella could never touch, but that is soon to change.
A huge thing here at Owen right now is the garden walk station, so we don't want to take that away, but we have to figure out a way to do it without soy, sesame, wheat, gluten, eggs.
The new allergen-free dining hall will open this fall. In East Lansing, Tierra Riddick, Focal Point News. This is where a president works. But the name has changed again for the third time in a year. Michigan State University has a new acting president.
Be it further resolved that Dr. Satish Gupta is hereby appointed acting president of Michigan State University.
Satish Gupta takes over. Interim President John Engler is out. He resigned last month after comments he made about survivors of the Larry Nassar sex abuse case.
We've been very vocally against John Engler being the interim president since the beginning.
Natalie Rogers, a student here, along with working for Reclaim MSU, an organization that helps hold the administration accountable.
And so we were happy that the board finally listened and finally came to their senses and got rid of him. And we're really excited about Satish being in the interim position.
Udpa has held admin positions here on campus before and is also the former College of Engineering dean. UDPA was elected by trustees based in part on faculty input. In a statement, new board member Kelly Tebay says, acting president UDPA brings a calm and steady hand that I think we need, and a commitment to better leadership from our administration. I believe he will set a strong foundation for our new president to come into. With the change in leadership here on campus, what do students, the main ones who make up this university, hope to get out of President UDPA?
I'd like to see a priority on the survivors, really. I felt like the last John Engler was not very compassionate enough and understanding enough.
I'm honestly hoping to see some respect for the student body, and I hope they start to listen to us.
MSU hasn't had a permanent president since Luana K. Simon resigned after the Larry Nassar scandal. In East Lansing, Tierra Riddick, Focal Point News.
Guys, check the size of your hats. If your hat don't have a flag on the side, you're wearing a fake hat.
Downtown Grand Rapids, a sight different from most days.
It's a couple hours we in line for.
A day filled with protests.
In my entire life, I've never said, not my president. And today, for the first time ever, I'm saying, not my president.
And support.
MAGA 2020, guys, MAGA 2020.
President Trump appeared at the Van Andel Arena on Thursday in yet another campaign rally for 2020. Some
in peaceful protest against this man named Donald Trump
may disagree.
Sign says it all.
While others beg to differ.
You know, I went to one of his outings like this a couple years ago, and it was great.
With Trump supporters on this side and protesters on this side, all have came out today in what is the first presidential rally for Trump since the Mueller report was released this week.
Who's giving the NRA the money? Where's the money?
With heavy emotion outside.
From your friends and family.
And lines plus crowds larger than you could imagine. The president touched on topics from his previous campaigns, including health care and border security. All of this and plenty more.
Don't dump health care.
To come with 2020, right around the corner. In Grand Rapids, Tierra Riddick, Focal Point News.